It's the post-game show, guys. And guess what? I do not own the rights to this music.
Here locally in the community. Make sure y'all go check out Kneecap Body by Jeremy Smokin.
All right, it's Kneecap Biting with Smokin Jeremy B. So far, I have two guests, a few that can't make it because due to personal reasons, which I am good about all that. I got DC 8091 from Baltimore, and I have Richard Head from down in parts unknown south of Flint. That being said, let's talk about the first wire-to-wire victory since the Arizona Cardinals game.
Nice.
Got one comment so far, and that's from Brian Roy. Hey, fellas. And Brian Roy says, I try to catch all your pods, Smokin gang. And I got, what's up, Smokin? I believe that's Cass Jones, the way he said it. Well, let's go over who was the hot players. DC, you rattle off yours.
Well, obviously, Sun God and Swift and Hutch basically walk away with that. But you got to give a nod out to the OL, particularly and actually in all the replacements, because we were missing a hell of a lot of starters. The secondary and the D also picked up the slack. The depth was challenged and succeeded greatly.
Yes. Richard?
Well, one guy forgot to mention DC, but I understand it. But Jared Goff, 4 touchdown passes, almost 300 yards passing. The guy is on a roll these first 2 weeks.
0 picks. Right. 0 picks, boys.
Exactly. One
all right.
questionable throw, but that's it.
I'm going to give a shout out to somebody that I said would be the comeback player of the year. Jeff Okudah.
Hell yeah.
I also want to say Dan Skipper. No penalties for a guy in his first start in a position he never played. Will Harris had a great job getting an interception, but he was mediocre in play. He was good. He's in that mediocre. The linebackers did much better this game.
Oh, yes, they did. Dan Skipper, to continue that, Jeremy, he had a hell of a game. There was one block early on. I'm not sure if you've seen it. He actually ran up and just pancaked the linebacker.
Yeah, that was great. That was on that big run by Swift.
Exactly.
Then when the one miscommunication, it was supposed to be a run, and it ended up looking like a play action when Goff did get sacked. That was miscommunication on what was supposed to happen because it was all supposed to go the one way, and the guy stunted right into the hole. There was no way anybody was blocking him, and there's also no one that could have got that ball out that fast.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other sack he took in the fourth quarter, that was necessary. That was called clock eating. Yep. And there was definitely some sketchy clock movement.
That's true. I noticed that.
That especially at
5 minutes.
150. Remember, I said it. I said, wait a minute. It was 150 when they hiked the ball, and he's tackled at 150, and they get a timeout. Where's the time off the clock?
It's
exactly.
That's
like what I was talking about. I thought it was 2:05, but yeah.
It's the MSU game all over again, where you spike the ball with 1 second left.
I mean, how hard does that have to be to run a damn clock? I mean,
Well, hold on.
Logan gave that up
organization, they
earlier.
can't hire anyone that does that.
There's
Have to
like
do that.
there's like 3 buttons you have to push: start, stop, and rewind. And I don't know. I'm not a mechanic. I don't know which one to push.
Well, I also don't work at.
I'm supposed to hit the start button, but I got a jacket.
I think I'd take an online class and get that done.
I'm thinking about producing a video on why the offense sucks for New England and submitting it to Bill Belichick, hoping that they may hire me to fill in as an interim offensive coordinator for Matt Patricia in Week 5 so I can sabotage them.
Hell, I could sit there and allow my nephew to go over there and call plays for him, and I guarantee he could do better than Matt Patricia.
Everybody's bagging on Mac Jones, who actually was one of the most accurate quarterbacks out of the rookie class last year. He was the most accurate. Guess who was the second most accurate? Davis Mills of the Texans.
Yeah,
Really?
not surprising.
He's had a nice start, too.
Right. And he's got a nice start. He's got, a tie and a loss, but it was a close loss against a team that he should have been housed by.
Exactly.
That's true.
Denver should have rolled him.
I mean, 17-9 is not rolling anybody over in the grave. That being said, did the defense and the offense both start to fizzle in the second half? Yes, a little bit, but they did what they needed to do. All they had to do is continue getting 1 score a quarter and letting them play catch up.
Exactly.
I mean, once you're up 22-0, that's a 3-score lead. There's not very many times that somebody loses a 3-score lead unless you're Atlanta Falcons.
I mean, by and large, they were in a prevent.
And yes, that was a shot out at the fail cunts.
they were in that prevent, but they were making the tackles. I mean, I was very compared to the last several years. The way that secondary is, when someone gets a ball, they're on the damn ground, is a great improvement.
That's true.
And by the way, let's give another shout out to Amon-Ra St. Brown on Good Morning Football. They pointed out that he was actually the 4th fastest play in the NFL on that 68-yard end around.
Jesus.
Wow.
He ran 21.09 miles per hour.
Jeez.
That's fast. That's so fast.
The fastest play in the NFL belongs to Lamar Jackson. Go figure.
Yep.
That 79-yard run he had. He hit 22.6 miles per hour.
That's ridiculous.
Especially for a quarterback. Oh, wait.
Yeah. Yep.
Wait. We've said this before. The running back that plays quarterback.
Exactly. Hey,
but I will say he looks much better in the pocket this year than he has in the past 4 years.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know if you've seen the highlight, but from that game against Miami, he had that huge bomb. It was actually a perfectly thrown ball. I was really impressed by it.
Yeah, I mean, he's actually looking like he's starting to get the quarterback game down, and I'm giving him kudos for that.
Yep. I mean, he's always been able to make good throws. It's just he hadn't been able to make them regularly and hadn't been able to make average throws.
It doesn't help when you got Marquise, I have stone hands, Hollywood Brown.
Yep. I mean, it goes to Mark Andrews, and I mean, like I said, he can make those bombs, and other times it's short, it's long.
And I'm sorry, for the next 3 weeks, I'm not starting Mark Andrews. He's not been the target he normally has been.
Yep.
No, he hasn't. Anybody who drafted him early in fantasies definitely not.
Well, I don't think 8th round is early. I thought that was a steal at the time. And now I'm thinking I should have drafted Jared Goff in the 8th round and him in 15th.
Hey, you got him in the 8th. I've seen people take him as high as the 3rd round. So I mean,
yeah, I know. And the one guy I was staying away from because I just had a feeling he's on our team. And he's in my cold players of the week for the 2nd week in the row. He missed 3 run blocks. He dropped 3 passes and had 1 catch.
Yep.
TJ Hawkinson. The hot and cold player of the week, the one that does both, is Will Harris. He was burnt toast on a lot of plays. All the big plays was pretty much him in coverage except for maybe 1. And then the double tipped ball that he caught. But that's because he was playing good coverage at the time, and that's why I call it a hot and cold player.
And I mean, he's made some pretty good tackles as well.
Yeah, I mean, he's fine in the tackling game. I have no problem with this tackling. And I said, man, maybe they're going to bring him in those fourth down situations where they try to give a dime look and use him more as a run blitzer because of his tackling ability. Because if you do that, and then you got Okuda coming from the other side, that's deadly for any running back trying to get around the edge.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
And then you got Tracy Walker running through the middle with Rodrigo and Anzalone, who are not missing tackles.
Nope.
I am surprised at how good Alex Anzalone has been playing. He's actually stepped up his game quite a bit.
Well, he looks like the guy when he had a competent middle linebacker next to him in New Orleans.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which is what they wanted when they got him, when they signed him. They wanted that guy, but we didn't have. I mean, we had Jamie Collins, who was competent, but he was slow and fat and old.
Yeah. I mean, he was the body. He had the body of like a 50-year-old man at like 34, 35.
Brian Roy says the team is actually working as team by keeping to their own assignments. They may have gotten away from it in the second quarter, but I like what I said. They didn't get away from it in the second quarter, second half. Let's clean that up a little bit. There we go. He actually said the same thing. Half, not quarter.
Yep.
I mean, they really didn't get away from it. We stopped being an attacking defense because we didn't have to be anymore. And anybody who's going to argue with me on this, I'm going to tell them they're stupid, because going for it on fourth and goal on the 3 was a brilliant defensive move.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Because if they got it, they're up 10-0. If they didn't, you got a big chance at the sack. That is huge, especially when you got that strip sack that almost ended up being a touchdown if Aiden Hutchinson wasn't locked up with the tight end.
Yep.
I'll also add those same people who criticize that call would also try and say that, well, this is a must-win game. Well, if it's a must-win game, you got to make calls like that. You got to call and be ballsy on calls like that.
Exactly. And I don't know, unless my math is wrong, isn't 9 6 more points than 3?
Yep.
Hold on, let me cut my fingers. Yes.
Okay, just checking. That being said, Jared Goff is not really lighting it up on the stat sheet as far as completion percentage, but the drops are not helping. The wrong routes are not helping. All of that stuff is still happening. Shark was covered like melted cheese. They didn't want him beating people deep, like we had at the end of the game, because we almost won against Philly. We got way closer than anybody expected us to. That being said, let's go the other way. Jared Goff has 235.5 yards per game. If you multiply that by 17, that's 4,003.5 yards. I don't know. Last I checked, 4,000 is a pretty good year for a quarterback, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yep. I think he's getting more than that.
He's averaging 3 touchdowns a game right now, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Multiply that by 17. That's 51. That's up there in Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, and better than any year that Matt Stafford's ever had.
Exactly.
Yeah, even in Stafford's best year, he had 41 touchdown passes.
And he did it twice in his career. 2011 and now 2021.
Yep, considering how much we're throwing the ball. Yep.
And that's the thing. Like, you can criticize Goff on the completion percentages, but like you pointed out, the drops are not his fault. I mean, if it hits the receiver in the hands and they flat out just drop it, that's on them. I mean,
and I'm going to say something right now, and I don't know if the real Dan Campbell or the real Ben Johnson is watching. Why hasn't Cephas played with all these drops happening? Why hasn't Cephas played at wide receiver? Sub him in for the first wide receiver that drops a ball. And if it's Hawkinson, put in Brock Wright. We saw what happened. Brock Wright caught a beautiful 29-yard pass, hit him right in the hands like almost every pass that was thrown to Hawk. And he took advantage of his situation. Why we didn't leave him in the rest of the game, I don't know.
I have a feeling that's going to come about next game. Their patience is going to be pretty damn short. I mean, unless Hawkinson has a broken finger that they're not telling, they know there's a reason why he's dropping it. either way, I see Hawk getting put on a pretty short leash after these 2 games.
I hope so, unless he's dealing with an injury that
Oh
we're
my
not aware
God.
of.
Yeah, that's what I said. I mean, if it's
It could be a
handle
nagging
finger, but-
injury.
It's 33-7 in the Bills game right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I figured the Titans were going to lose to the Bills, but man, I didn't think they were going to start off 0-2 and then get just demolished by the Bills.
Interesting stat, and I said it during the live show for us commenting on the game. Teams that start 0-2, it's happened 125 times since the Super Bowl era started. Only 12 has made the playoffs, and none have made the Super Bowl.
Yep.
It's a stat that pretty much stands out. You know, I mean, you can't ignore that.
I mean, it's not guaranteed. It just doesn't look good.
Well, not a single team that started off 0-2 has made the Super Bowl, and as Jeremy pointed out, 12 in the Super Bowl era.
Well, it doesn't look good, but there is a chance that you could go 0-2, and it can't happen. You can win out.
Oh yeah,
You'll be in the playoffs.
I mean,
you're not mathematically eliminated from the playoffs.
Did that 7-9 Seattle Seahawks team start off 0-2 and make the playoffs?
No.
Oh, okay.
They lost their first game, won their second, then lost 2 in a row.
Okay.
Yep.
21-7 for Philly over Minnesota. A 4-way tie, and the NFC North is smelling like a victory.
And it's making Sunday's game look all the more interesting.
Cold players. I got to throw him in there because he's really not doing much. Michael Brockers. He made 1 key stop. 1 out of how many plays he was out there? A lot.
Yeah,
we need Pascal, Levi, and all those guys to get healthy. We can't afford to cut them this year. That restructure just made it so his dead cap's high. Next year we can afford to cut them, and I'm gonna look now that it's updated because it's been a week because everybody was showing immediately. Oh, we saved $10 million. We were always gonna save $10 million if we cut Brockers next year. I'm quite sure that number has changed.
Yeah, but we're better off dressing them and using them sparingly than taking that cap hit just to say, sorry, you're not playing well. Here's your punishment.
Well, they're trying to give him a chance to play to earn some trade value, but right now, the way he's playing, I'd rather trade for a bump on the log.
I think he's done. I think if he does get picked up or sign with another team, it's a bottom feeder.
It'll be somebody that thought the way Dan Campbell did. Boy, we have to look out for Brockers. I remember when we play LA, you had to watch out for Brockers because of Aaron Donald.
Yeah, and that was what? How many years ago now?
2 years now.
Feels like 3 or 4.
It does, but we just got him last year.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's still potential for him to get respectable again, but I
would love to see him start to show out, get mad. Mm-hmm. Oh, Brian Roy says the same thing I am. I hope the coaching staff are taking notes tonight. Don't you think they are? This is their off day. This is their off day. So what are they doing? They're reviewing this film right here. This is how you beat them.
It's going to be interesting. I mean, we're talking Vikings have the Monday night game, so it's a shortened week.
And my good buddy from right here in Bay City, Dad Laundry, says, greetings, fellas. How you doing, Dad? Good to see you.
Howdy.
DC, what are your takes from the game?
I think it's about time we showed how we could actually do it. And the good thing is that we're showing that we can actually do it. And the good news is there's a lot of room for improvement. That prevent D and the late quarter D can get tightened up, and we could have easily put 50 up. I mean, 50 was.
Let's see if we had Jerry Jacobs and Mr. Orenwarie there, wouldn't it have been a lot better of a secondary?
Yep.
Did Iffy end up playing or was he out?
If he ended up out. Remember, you weren't in that stream.
Jacobs out. Yeah.
Well, let's go to
players out.
Here is the exact list of who was inactive for the game.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What is that? 7. Oh yeah, about close.
Yeah. Austin Bryant, was he injured or was it just a healthy scratch?
He actually came up a little bit limp in the pre-practice.
Yep.
So they held him out.
Hmm.
And
I mean,
it's just a thigh bruise with Hutch. He's fine. Stop yelling, people.
Yeah, Mitchell's interesting, but if Hawk doesn't start catching, he might not be a healthy scratch much longer.
Mitchell wasn't a healthy scratch. He's still got
was
some
hurt?
issues with that knee. It doesn't always hit 100%, and I'd rather them
Okay.
hold him out if he's not 100%.
Oh, agreed.
Hold him out.
I didn't-
Remember, they didn't
yeah.
use him in week 1. They didn't use him this week.
Yep.
Jeremy, one player who I'll say was kind of cold, because the guy behind him is actually doing about the same. Jamal Williams.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Craig Reynolds
Absolutely.
is pretty much
Using
doing
him
exactly what he's doing for a third of his cost. You know, I like
And-
Jamal Williams, but he hasn't been that power back we needed.
No, I like Craig Reynolds better. I said it last year. I said, look at the little bit he did. He actually had better production with less snaps. Bonnie Gilly, a good friend of mine from here in Bay City, one of my best female friends, met her through pool leagues. She says, hi, Jeremy. And Brian Roy says, yes, DC, they left points on the field. Yeah, 4 3 and outs. But at the time, they may have been consecutive. We still scored in that quarter.
Yep.
Say what you want.
Well, no, I'm just saying we're better than that. What that score said. There's
Yeah,
excellent
it's because they were
opportunity
told.
to keep racking it up.
What do you do when you have a big lead? You slow
You
down the
start to run it.
game, you run the
Yep.
ball more, and you stop scoring so fast. That is why
Exactly.
we looked the way we did in the second half. Yes, we left points on the field, but it was by far one of the best games I've watched. And, oh, here we go.
Agreed.
Big Detroit Dom.
Yeah.
All right.
I am
Dom?
so sorry. I spaced out. I was looking at my fantasy stuff. My big money league, I came in down 12 points. I have Diggs. He has Jefferson. I think I might win.
I need Jefferson to do something because all I got is the Bills defense.
I want Diggs to get a 4th touchdown and go Joe Horn with the cell phone inside of the pad. Oh, are you?
I need less than a point.
Do you
and I'll be
see it?
I'll win.
No, I can't. I can't watch it. I'm outside.
Your least favorite quarterback of last year's draft has entered the game.
Malik Willis.
Correct.
It's 41-7. I mean,
Yeah.
you might as well.
Well, if you have the Bills defense,
Well,
you're
you
gonna
know
be
what? Let's see if he does any good. The one read and run quarterback with what? 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter?
Tried almost 3 minutes left in the third quarter.
Wow, that early.
Yeah.
Ryan Tannehill's looked that bad, huh?
I'm going to say it's the Titans defense, not.
Well, yeah, the Titans defense can't stop a wet bag at this point.
Another reason I got held up was arguing with someone because they said, well, actually, no, they were talking about, it started out, someone was complaining about Derrick Henry only having 14 yards on 11 carries, and they said, look at his quarterback. And I said, Nick Chubb seems to be doing okay running the ball with Jacoby Brissett. And then the guy's like, yeah, he's better. I said, are you saying Jacoby Brissett is better than Ryan Tannehill? I mean, I'll take
high.
I'm like, I'll take neither. But then I was like, well, what about Jared Goff? And he was like, oh, same. He's a little bit better than them.
Okay.
That's where I got sidetracked.
Oh, Brian Roy, I like this a little alluding he did in this one. They played with confidence, and we could all see it. It's like a breath of fresh air or smoke. LOL. I love it, brother.
Agreed. The confidence and mojo. They got it.
This game was exactly what Lions fans, the team, and the coaching staff needed to see.
Yep.
It showed that they do belong. They are legitimate, in my mind.
They could be an 8 or 9 win team easy with what we just saw.
if their offense continues to
If
do
they can
anything
continue to
close,
do 35 points a game, they can get it easy.
they will make the playoffs, no problem.
They'll get more than 8
Philly's
or 9.
defense is good.
Yeah, and we put 35 up on them.
Yep.
Some of it was prevent, but I would attribute 28 of it to that. That's all I asked for. 28 points.
Yeah. We had a legit, we were at 28 right at the end of the third quarter.
I'll say this, though. It's the end of the first half, and it looks like Philly's about to be up 24-7 on Minnesota.
Get it. Let's go. Keep that 3-score lead.
Yeah, I pretty much knew Philly was going to win.
We all said it.
It's primetime Kirk Cousins.
That's exactly what I said to him.
I haven't been watching any of it, but are you guys watching that game? Like, are they spying the QB like we never did?
I don't know.
No.
It wouldn't have mattered.
And if they
honestly.
are, that's even worse. Good Lord.
I said the secondary is okay. It's not great. It's sus.
Ours?
Minnesota.
Oh, I don't.
It's okay, but not great.
That was a replay. I thought it was another one. I don't think I started Singletary, which sucks because he's probably going to get a lot of run in the second half.
You know what will be really, really interesting, though, is if they continue to try Dan Skipper at guard. I mean, he played really well for somebody who's never done the position at the national level like that. Professional
Break's
level.
over. Back to later. All right, Dan, you have a great day.
I mean, as soon as Jonah's 80%, he's going to replace him.
Well, yeah, obviously.
No, but
I mean,
I'm saying right now, the way he played, I might keep him at left guard and put Jonah at right and sit Stenberg.
Yeah, I was going to say or that, but I don't think you can necessarily unseat Stenberg. You know what this is with Stenberg finally? It's him getting that shot and making that leap. And
it's
now,
about time. It's about time because this was his year.
Right. As of this very moment, Jeff Okudah is our number one corner, and it's not close.
I said it was going to happen because last week he did not look good.
This is what would have happened with Okudah last year,
right? Mm-hmm. When he flipped that switch just before he got hurt, and he had that big pass breakup on Deebo Samuel, and then he was on that run play, which hurt 3 players in the same play. That was when they lost Elijah Mitchell. That was when we lost Kevin Strong and Jeff Okudah.
I don't see AO just falling off a cliff, but he is banged up. But he's not going to get any worse. So if he wants to go ahead and be like,
the best number 2 in the league.
Right, because Okudah's top 10.
I'm okay with that.
I'm telling you, by the end of the year,
so far,
they
Okudah's
will be
given
better
up
than
2
Slade
catches,
Bradbury.
1 for 7 yards and 1 for 4 yards.
And he leads the team in tackles, or he's second. I always like that about him. I'm like, hey, this guy can play the run.
He the edge in the run. And I said last year,
he's a linebacker playing corner.
Dom, after that game,
yeah,
after that game when he got hurt, I said our run game's going to suffer.
Yeah,
remember that
when he said linebacker playing corner, that reminded me of Quandre Diggs, who was a linebacker playing corner that got moved to safety.
I think a lot of the people, a lot of Lions fans' issues with Okudah wasn't so much like the player himself. It was like the fact he was drafted at number 3 overall.
Not his fault.
That's not his fault. I agree. I'm not.
Eric Ebron, not your fault getting drafted that high.
Well, I mean,
and they both got put into equally terrible positions.
And TJ Hawkinson, not your fault. You're drafted that high. Well, yeah, it kind of is because every single draft pundit said, "Oh, he's an extra tackle in the run game."
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah,
that was one of the big
my thing. He was supposed to be good in run blocking. He's not.
He's been abysmal. He's made 2 blocks out of 10 so far.
He's from tight end U. He wasn't even the goddamn starter until Noah.
If you're going to grab a tight end, Noah Fant would have been better.
Or you just don't take a tight end that high.
I understand, but
unless it's Gronkowski, but even then, I mean,
but you don't know. That's the problem.
This coaching staff is instilling confidence in these players, which they never had with other Lions teams. Agree or disagree? 100%. The last coaching staff that did this much instilling of confidence was Wayne Fonz's coaching staff.
Yep, exactly.
And I will say Caldwell for 1 year.
No, that was
Wait.
because that 1 year he had the Mayhew Schwartz built Lamborghini defense that fell apart every year after that.
Wait,
Yeah, 'cause
who? Jackson?
they couldn't keep them all. They couldn't keep them all under the cap. That's why.
Yeah, Jeremy and I were just on a show before this. When we drafted Sue, I said we can't afford that.
Right.
Yep.
Because that was the last year of the huge rookie deals. Then we re-up Calvin. Then we re-up Stafford. And that was, what was it, 53, 54% of the cap?
Between
three
those
guys.
two players, yeah.
Yep. That's exactly what I said too.
They should have traded Calvin.
And again,
Then we got
I'm
the
going
other
to say,
defensive lineman, and then we got Averill,
and Matt Stafford was only the highest paid quarterback for 2 days. Justin Gonzalez comes in and says, "Let's go, Pride. Let's go." All right, key stats of the game. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 68 yards on the ground and 118 receiving?
114,
116. Somewhere in there. Yeah.
over 100.
Over 200, almost 200 yards total offense from one player and 2 touchdowns. Jared Goff, 275 yards?
It's like 260 something.
Or 263.
And
right?
4 touchdowns.
And 4 touchdowns, 0 picks. Yes, Hockenson.
No fumbles.
No fumbles.
256.
256. Yeah, okay. 256.
No
Yeah,
fumbles
but it
and no
still
picks.
equals out. It still equals out to 471 yards total. You divide that in half, that's 235.5 a game. And Dom and I talked about this in the
That's all you
preseason.
need.
If he gets 235 yards a game, he'll be right at that 4,000 yard precipice.
Oh, he'll get more than that.
We don't need him to. We don't need
I
him
hope he
to.
doesn't.
I hope it stays
Well, no.
just like this. I want him to stay
Well-
right around that 220 to 250 range and go back and forth each week and have anywhere from 3 to 4 touchdowns.
Right.
That's
and
it.
Run.
Hell,
Run.
at this
Agreed,
rate,
which we have been doing, but-
he's on pace to just blow past that 35 touchdown marker we set, or I set. I said if he hits 35 touchdowns, I'll be impressed. He's going to blow past this at that rate.
And mostly because of Amon-Ra St. Brown.
If he does, that's fine. I don't care what the I don't care what the touchdown number is, as long as it's more than 2 to 1.
They do take
yeah,
tight ends too early in drafts, though I agree with Bandana Man. That's a backwards hat.
TJ Hawkinson, first round.
Eric
Ebron,
Ebron,
first round. Brandon Pettigrew.
Pettigrew,
First round.
You know how many touchdowns he had his senior year at Oklahoma State?
2.
5.
No, the same number we all did for Oklahoma State that year.
Oh, that year, yeah.
But at least Pettigrew could block. And his
Pettigrew
first 2
could
years,
block.
he broke all of our single season tight end records. Then the next year, he broke his own records.
Right.
And then he
And
got
the thing
injured.
with-
And it
the
just
thing
was-
with Pettigrew was, if you got him the ball early in the game and he caught it, he would have a good game. And Ebron, not his fault. They tried to make him block. You think Eric Ebron ever tried to block anyone ever in his life?
No.
I bet he was a quarterback in Pee Wee, then probably a large wide receiver in high school.
Oh.
I'll say this with
He could-
Ebron though, some of his missed blocks were just so bad. There's just no excuse for them.
They were almost as bad as TJ Hawkinson's this year.
Because
I will take
he
TJ
never blocked
Hawkinson's worst
anyone
day
ever.
blocking. I will take TJ Hawkinson's with the flu, with one arm tied behind his back blocking, than Eric Ebron on his best day.
I'm just poking fun at
I mean, me
at
too,
the
but
guy
I
that
never
I
heard.
think.
I never heard anyone say a thing about Eric Ebron blocking because there was no
reference to
reference
it.
point.
No, he was a receiving tight end that had drop issues.
Yep.
On a bad team, that's a luxury pick. And this is what I'm saying about, and like everyone's looking for the next Travis Kelce, right? Travis Kelce wasn't a first round pick. Everyone's looking for the next Tyreek Hill or Antonio Brown. Not first. There's a reason that those things happen,
Yes, that number will go down. That number's going to go down after this game. It's 100%. Right now, the line is 7. If you're going to bet on the Lions, take it now.
Yeah,
Because they're
definitely.
getting 7 points. Go and hit your bookie tonight, because by 9 a.m. tomorrow, that's dropping to 4.
Yeah, that might
Yeah,
even be midnight tonight.
I wasn't even making an official prediction with the Vikings until after I saw tonight's game, because last week proved nothing to me. That's the week 1 Packers. Anyone could have beat them.
Right. I mean,
how many points did they score?
I don't think 20, 24. Yeah.
Wow, that many? Wait, no.
No, not
Tigers.
the Tigers are blowing somebody out.
Yeah, 11 zip.
True Lion Blue, go Detroit. Oh, Tristan Marshall said he already did.
Nice.
Smart man. How you doing, Tristan?
7.
7.
7. Enough to be beat by both the Broncos and the Seahawks, the Cardinals and the Chiefs, the Giants and the Titans.
And the only
Raiders
team
and the
that wouldn't have beat
Chargers.
the Packers in week 1 was Dallas.
Correct. But that's week 1 Green Bay.
Yeah, I'm just saying. And I feel like such a butt because I said, ooh, Cooper Rush is starting for Dallas. I'm going to pull CD Lamb and put in DJ Shark.
If you still got Sharks, start him this week.
I would.
Yep, I am.
Smoking while watching something, JB. Much love, brother. Awesome.
Sharks going to go bananas.
Yeah,
Jeremy was there earlier on the show. I expect and hope to see Amon-Ra's streak broken. He'll still get the catches. He will not get the touchdown because Shark has 1, Reynolds has 1, Brock Wright has 1. Jamal Williams has 3 on the ground because he's a goal line whore. Oh my Lord!
If Jamal Williams
healthy Swift is a dominant Swift. All right. Justin Gonzalez says a healthy Swift is a dominant Swift. If that guy can make it a full season, he can have a Pro Bowl year. Big if, though. If he goes down at Brown, might be our leading rusher. Oh,
receiver.
St. Brown.
Yep.
And receiver. LOL, guys, a phenom. League was on notice after last season. He still hasn't been shut down, slowed down, nothing. He's just that good. And you know what? You know who else was doing the same thing before Amon-Ra broke out? The only wide receiver that was getting separation and catching passes. Quintez Cephas.
Yep.
Once he got that freak shoulder injury, and anybody that says he's injury prone, it's not the same injury. That's not injury prone. It's dumb luck.
Look, I'll tell you right now, Minnesota is going to be geared up to stop St. Brown. Like you said, Chark and everyone else is going to be wide open because they can't just sit there and be like, well, we'll let the rookie catch it anymore. And once they start seeing these numbers, I mean, Redskins basically double covered Chark all fucking game.
The whole game.
And triple.
Depending on who's making the majority of the final calls on personnel, whether it's Ben Johnson or Campbell, that's the only black mark I put on their name so far is I told you this before, Jeremy. Remember when people were like, oh, Cephas is going to get cut because he doesn't play special teams?
I said they're going to put him at gunner.
Of his
Didn't I say?
90% of his damn snaps has been on special teams.
Because Cephas is just like St. Brown. Cephas is faster than his 40 time. Once you put him in pads, he's quick. And I said the same thing about St. Brown. If you look at him on his game film, he's way faster than that 40 time he had at the combine. And game film does not lie.
No.
Nope. You're going to start seeing Cephas get in there more, too.
I said if you see Hawk at that split end position again, and he runs the wrong route or drops the ball, you're going to see Cephas in the next half.
Yep.
I don't understand what's going on with Hawkinson.
I don't think he's fully healthy from last year. He had the hand injury and a leg injury, and he's running slow and lackadaisical. He had the one good play, and that was after he had 3 drops, and basically was a main reason why we went 4 3-and-outs.
Isn't he on a contract year 2?
No. Next year is his contract year because we picked up the 5th-year option.
Okay.
But that's why we will not rework his contract. and the reason why they didn't do AO in the offseason is they wanted to see what he'd do, because there is that lull in the 2 to 3 year range with most corners. And you can't say that it's a 2 to 3 year lull with Okuda, because he only played 10 games in 2 quarters before he started this season. So he's technically just at the end of his first year of games.
And to be fair, most corners, even healthy, their first 2 years, they're average at best.
Right.
Remember how terrible Darius Slay was his rookie
Exactly.
year?
Exactly. Even his second year, he got burned on quite a bit.
No, he was
Lion King.
Year.
I must have used my psychotic abilities, because I had the chance to draft Hawk in the 3rd round and I passed on him.
Smart.
Somebody in one of my leagues grabbed Amon-Ra, what I thought was a couple rounds early. But like I said, you watch Chark. Oh, this is what I wanted to say about Cephas. All I can figure is either he's been practicing really bad. At this point, he's definitely pissed off about his lack of snap counts, or like he got into it with Campbell or Ben Johnson. Because after all those drops week 1, and then you're still running Khalif Raymond out there. Or
I don't know if she's watching, but I want to make an announcement right now. Miss Lakeisha Cephas, since you are a friend on Facebook and you are a part of Motor City Kneecap Biters, and I've sent you the link, please get a hold of me. I want to talk to you about learning about the man behind the face mask, because I would love to do an editorial with a background piece on Quintez Cephas.
If you're listening, Quintez's mom, we love your son.
We are 2 of his biggest fans, Dom and I, and we have been ever since we got him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I doubt it's going to be much longer before he gets in there.
It's getting to the point where you almost have to. Reynolds has dropped, 2 passes now in 2 games?
Yep, and has 2 touchdowns. I mean,
he has 2 touchdowns, but
going to be easy.
Cephas was a monster for us against the 49ers, against Green Bay, against the Ravens.
That's why it's going to be any time now.
You know what the crazy thing is? Unfortunately, best case scenario, we continue to not see him because we don't need him. But I mean, he's better than Josh Reynolds.
He might even still be
definitely
injured,
better than Khalif Raymond.
No, he's not. He's fully healthy. That's the crazy thing. He's been fully healthy. He's been practicing all offseason. He played in the preseason. I think he scored 2 touchdowns this preseason. He had one where it was a crazy one-handed grab where he jumped up between 3 defenders in the end zone. Isn't that what it was there, DC? Wasn't that the Indianapolis Colts game?
Yep. Caught that.
And everybody's like, "Oh, Cephas is going to get cut because Tom Kennedy has more touchdown catches." Tom Kennedy did the same thing every preseason for the last 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
I will say, though, Dan Skipper, I hope they keep him. I mean, I know he's 6 years, been in the league 6 years now, and this is,
This is his first NFL start at a position he's never played or practiced at.
And
wait, are we still on Cephas? I had
No, I talked about Skipper. We just talked about Skipper.
I mean, you think about it, though. If he gets that position, like even remotely down where he's adequate at it, you're talking you have a 6'9", 330+ pound left guard
with a 90-inch wingspan.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Decker's playing well, and suffice it to say, Evan Brown. Oh, Darius Slay.
Did you just pick somebody?
Yep.
Who was it going to? Jay Jetta?
I don't know. He kind of just cut across the middle and picked it off the goal line. But Evan Brown, yeah, I think he could probably be the starting center on more teams than not in the NFL.
Oh, yeah. I think there's about 12 teams he could be starting for right now.
And Penei Sewell's so goddamn good. It took him all of one game to make Logan Stenberg look serviceable.
Right.
Cephas.
Yes.
And I thought about it some more, and I think this is the most likely situation. Because he lasted 4 games last year.
5th game is when he got hurt versus Minnesota.
Okay, so it's been that long, regular season wise, since Goff played with him. So he developed, like Amon-Ra emerged. He got more time with Reynolds. Khalif Raymond was just getting targets. I'm thinking like I don't
Justin
think
Gonzalez.
Cephas got.
You say he's not better than Reynolds. What he's better than Reynolds at is at catching the ball and route running. He was by far the only wide receiver that got separation through those first 5 games when he was in. He was the only one catching everything that came his way. The only one he didn't catch went behind him.
I'll take him over Reynolds in the 50-50 ball as well.
Disagree
But no, what I'm
with this
thinking,
guy
like,
entirely.
how much? I don't think Cephas got a lot of time with Goff in training camp, and really not at all in preseason, right? So they don't
Right.
supposedly he was on the verge of being cut. So what kind of reps does Goff have with Cephas since week 5 of last year? Virtually none.
Right, because he was still hurt when he did his little camp out in California with the rest of the wide receivers. So he wasn't working out yet. He was still rehabbing.
I think that's what it is.
Everybody misses the fact that he was right there with Okuda rehabbing the entire time. Nobody was showing film on Cephas. Nobody was doing this. And then he comes out that first camp and does that big 42-inch vertical leap he's got right over all the defenders with a one-handed catch in the end zone again, just like he did the year before.
That guy's comment just contradicts himself. Not to go back to that, but because he's too big and too slow to play the X or the Y. It's like, dude, he's a possession receiver. What are you talking about? Big and slow. He's too big and slow to play receiver. Anquan Bolden. He's like an Anquan Bolden type receiver.
He's exactly an Anquan Bolden type of receiver.
No, he's taller, and Anquan Bolden is an android.
Lion King, we need his size at wide receiver. Yeah, he's over 6 foot tall.
Right now, apparently, we don't need him, other than like a handful of plays where we
to
were
take
like
the pressure off of Amon-Ra.
Right, where we were like, Cephas would have caught that, or where's Cephas?
Which we said all through the first game. If anybody was around that I talked about it, I was livid that he only had 4 snaps on offense and they were run plays.
Week 1?
Yeah.
No, 2.
Oh, 2 snaps, but they were run plays. And what does that mean? He's a willing blocker.
Mm-hmm.
Does Reynolds block in the run game very well? I haven't seen it.
Probably not.
I will say this, though, the fact they're still averaging those kind of points per game and Cephas isn't playing.
That's pretty impressive, actually.
And
Jamison Williams hasn't played yet.
We are now 19 games and counting, and still haven't seen a single snap with our projected starting O-line.
Yep.
And with better weaponry in the wide receiver group than the running back group.
Mm-hmm.
But then here's Amon-Ra, 49 yards. We lead the league in a bunch of things. Points.
Good things.
Big plays.
And yes, you guys can talk about it. Goff is 3-9 on passes over 20 yards. Why? Let's see. There was a drop by Shark. There was a drop by Reynolds. There was a drop that far by Amon-Ra, no less in the first week.
I don't give a shit about
I'm just saying.
Clearly, it's not on him. You know what I haven't seen enough of? Play action.
Right. We have not, but they were limiting Swift snaps. He'd be in for a series or two or on the first 2 parts of the drive, and then they'd pull him out. And then
That's fine.
You got 3 yards here, and then
see Williams.
I understand that.
They're trying to take each other's snaps.
Brian Roy, I'm going to say it again. This week, he was covered like melted cheese. You know what he was? He was last year's Hawkinson when everybody got hurt.
Jared Goff's one real bad pass in this past game was to Shark, and he had 3 guys around him.
Right. He fit it in the window, and Shark dropped it.
None of us have been impressed with Shark.
That's the crazy thing. He fit it in the window, and Shark dropped it.
I thought he did all right week 1. I mean, he got a nice touchdown catch. I mean,
he had 2 drops and a missed route to start the game.
He did. He still got the touchdown, though. I mean, that's a big.
I mean, that was huge. But that was a perfectly placed ball by who that threw it deep?
Jared Goff,
Mr. Perfect.
Now he hasn't missed a perfect, but I'm just saying that was a perfectly placed deep ball.
According to Football Reference, he is Mr. Perfect. I posted it somewhere. I'm like, wow.
Here we go.
We've really lowered our
favorite fake coach comes in and says, I went to prevent too early last game. I'm watching Vikings, and we're going to play a pissed-off Minnesota team. They getting whipped. And Lion King says, we've scored an average of 35 points and not hit our stride yet. And this is true. But nobody can say that we're not an explosive offense.
I mean, yeah, it's too early to say we've hit our stride, but I think this is approximately our stride.
We said all offseason that we have to score a minimum of 28 points and hold other teams under. We couldn't hold Philly because they are that talented of a team, and they're proving it right now against Minnesota.
That's what I've been saying.
We also don't have...
we still don't have Jamison Williams. We still don't have Pascal. We still don't have Levi Onwuzurike.
Defense... Our highest paid defensive end, he's not playing.
Yeah.
Our second round pick, defensive tackle, not playing.
Well, he's a DN/D tackle. James Houston is on the practice squad. Why? Because he's still rehabbing his ACL.
Our safety, Iffy, still ain't playing.
They had him in limited practice all week. I'm pretty sure he's going to be back this week because he did practice through most of the week.
And our starting offensive line, still waiting on that.
Like I said, not a single snap. That's fine. It's just making our backups better.
Right.
This is true.
I'm going to say it right now. The entire O-line group, because of Hank Fraley, is the number 1 O-line group in the league.
And guess what?
Overall, yes.
Vitae just got back surgery.
He may not come back for the season.
So we're seeing a lot of Logan Stenberg.
And a lot of Dan Skipper and a lot of it. We're going to see a lot of those too.
This is what Stenberg needed.
Hey,
damn.
Honestly, though,
Brown is
this
good.
is all. It's kind of good because if Stenberg doesn't show out, we got enough guys to replace him at right guard.
Yeah, because Ragnow's going to be back, and then he can slide Evan Brown over.
Then what is Houston rehabbing? Because he hasn't played at all, hardly. And he's a draft pick. I hate draft picks that don't play. Eric Sean says, holy crap, Minnesota looks like crap. I told you it would happen, Eric. I predicted it last week. I picked Philly.
This is Kirk Cousins is in his prime time.
Prime time Kirk Cousins.
Wait. Prime time and playoff Kirk Cousins, because both have happened. He is 2-9, soon to be 2-10.
Actually, you know what? Wait. Oh, wait. That was okay. Sorry. That was last week. I was looking at the stats. I was like, wait a minute.
Not this bad, though. That's because the Philly team was that good. For us to do what we did, we're a good team, Eric.
Yeah.
Oh,
I've been saying it since before the season started. I said Philly.
Eric Sean, he is Stafford.
Yeah.
Dalvin Cook. Former disgraced first-round Eagles pick, wide receiver Jalen Reagor is the leading rusher for Minnesota with 17 yards on 1 carry.
He's the leading rusher. So how many yards does Dalvin Cook at?
Thielen hurt 14 and 15 receiving. Good for a 29. Is Thielen hurt?
I don't know why he has no stat line.
None.
He probably hurt. I put the over under at him as the same as Julio Jones.
Which means
See, and I like Adam Thielen as a player. He's a good dude.
the greatest
Oh,
modern
Eric Sean says,
era cornerback of our lifetime in Detroit has held Justin Jefferson to 5 catches for 43 yards.
oh, I knew the Eagles were good, but tough to gauge us after one game. It's not just one game. We just did it in back-to-back games, scored 35 plus
They
points.
just blocked a field goal, and they're running it back. Oh, the kicker got him. Or the punter.
Mike Martz, I think Justin Fields is a bum. I think his O-line is a bum, and you shouldn't even be talking football anymore.
You know who Mike Martz loved?
Go ahead.
Eddie Drummond.
I loved Eddie Drummond, too.
He was
Eddie
fast.
Drummond, granted, overlapping 2 games, returned 3 consecutive footballs that he caught for touchdowns. Like a punt, a kick, and a punt.
The Eagles have been a preseason favorite to make it to the NFC Championship game. Possibly even the Super Bowl.
They have a good roster.
They have a great roster.
They had a good offseason. I said that Hurts would be better for losing that playoff game.
I said their offensive line was top 5.
And it was number 1.
It's better than ours.
Ranked number 1.
And their D-line's like top 5.
Their D-line was top 10 when it came into the season, but now it's top 5.
And we're not even talking about their linebackers and secondary.
They already had Darius Slay, then they got James Bradbury for nothing.
Yeah. Eric Sean, Bills look ridiculous.
Yeah, they
Tim
do.
Boyle, I want to play so bad. Stay on the practice squad, buddy.
Tim Boyle, you can go play for Eastern Michigan.
Case Keenum has entered the game.
For Minnesota?
Yeah. No, Buffalo. Didn't even know he was the backup.
Allen is sitting out the second half. I know. He got me enough fantasy points. I won my game. I'm good. I'm 2-0.
You're up 41-7. It's like you don't even need to play him anymore. There ain't coming back. If your defense just stands there and waits for somebody to run by him and tackles them, they ain't enough time.
That's Delvin's brother, isn't it? James Cook, the running back for Buffalo?
I believe so.
10 carries for 50 yards. They sat everyone down.
What'd Singletary get?
6 for 19.
Ooh.
Garbage.
Does he get hurt again?
No, they were throwing
San
the
Francisco
dog.
is thanking their lucky stars. They kept Jimmy G. Eric Sean, I told you they were keeping Jimmy G. I warned you they were keeping Jimmy G. I knew that was happening.
What a fucked up situation that was.
Yeah.
Like, you're not the guy, but here's all this money. Not surprised. I like Jimmy G. You know what he does? He wins
Dates
games.
porn stars.
He wins games.
Porn star Jimmy.
He dates porn stars and gets paid starter money to ride the pine.
Uh-oh.
He's Fitzpatrick all over again.
Wait, are we talking beginning of the season Fitzpatrick or late? Are we talking beginning of the season Fitztragic or late season hero Ryan Fitzmagic?
We're talking Fitzmagic. Maybe Jimmy's going to start doing that, or he'll, the team gets signed for a bunch of money, starts to suck, goes to another team, tears it up, gets signed for a bunch of money, then starts to suck again.
Wins game. I'm fairly certain he was Cleveland's
Boob Quinn
one
has
plan.
popped into the chat. I drafted Swift, Okuda, Jackson, Decker, Ragnow. Can I get credit? I always gave you credit for your O-line picks. Drafting Okuda when you did was a reach. It's still a reach today.
He also drafted Kenny Galladay.
You also drafted Kerryon Johnson. You drafted Kenny Galladay. You drafted Tease Tabor. You drafted Jared Davis. You drafted...
I believe he drafted Eric Ebron, too.
No,
it was a great pick.
What the fuck, another pick? Who got a pick? The Eagles? or the Buffalo Bills?
Cousins has 2 picks.
No,
Eagles got 1.
that's awesome. Bob Quinn he could draft talent. His mistake was signing Patricia.
Dalvin Cook has reached a tie with Jalen Reagor for rushing yards, albeit on 5 more attempts.
Oh.
Kenny Galladay was a great pick. Soon to be
Dan
future
Leonard
Green Bay
was talking
Packers wide receiver.
Dan Leonard was talking shit, saying he was going to house me this week. I'm up 96-86 when I was down 20 points before the Monday Night Football games. I got 20 alone out of Buffalo's defense.
Good Lord.
And Bob Quinn says, Jeremy, wow. No, Goster Cherilus was Mayhew. Same with...
That was Millen.
That was Millen.
Oh, was it Millen? Okay. But the one that you said before, that was Mayhew.
Ebron.
Mayhew was Lakin Tomlinson.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Ed that Gelati Tavai, but I believe that was more of a Matt Patricia pick.
Again, look at his first round picks.
The Patriots were going to take him with the next pick.
Yeah.
Right. In the 5th round.
Yeah, he also didn't Bob Quinn draft Owarue too? Owarue?
Yeah, in the 5th round. I'll give him credit for that.
Steal.
That was a steal. He was good at late round draft steals. Tracy Walker.
And first round
Amani Oruwariye. And first round picks on the O-line.
God awful in the 2nd round.
Until
yeah,
Swift.
I mean, it's those.
Yeah, Swift. I mean, Swift kind of fell to him, but at the
Swift
same time,
is not
he
even
did
a good
draft
pick.
him, so
Tell me you
give him
would
credit
rather
for
have
it.
AJ Dillon.
I'd rather have Swift.
I would rather have Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah, but we were no. He was already gone. He went in the 1st round, didn't he?
Quinn couldn't pick a toothless whore at a dental convention.
Hey,
The only reason
Taylor was already gone.
wait, Matt Patricia, Dan Campbell makes bonehead calls, and he's already starting off with a better record than you did in Detroit.
Everyone was all excited about fucking Matt Patricia for one play.
Yeah, that was a pick 6 where Quandre Diggs got it right off the bat.
Oh yeah.
Was it Diggs with that pick?
Yep.
And then Matt.
And
Patricia.
then Matt Patricia's, hey, turn down that offense, Jim Bob Cooter.
Yeah, Taylor was after
DC,
Swift.
you're muted.
Oh, whoops. Yeah,
What'd you say?
Jim Bob Cooter is still the best name of a coach ever.
Facts.
I just like saying our offensive
Another one that you can't lie you'd rather have than Swift. Cam Akers.
Yeah, and the offense looks terrible.
I wanted Cam Akers. I ain't gonna lie.
Me too, but
Who?
Coach Cooter?
Who was
Coach
excited
Cooter was
about
great...
Patricia? I hated his hiring.
Who was excited about Matt Patricia's hiring? Matt Patricia.
I was. Yep.
I'll be honest. I thought it made sense because those guys came from the same system. They're from the same organization. I thought, you know what? Continuity.
What?
I thought, if anything,
I can't believe I have to tell you this, Richard Head, because until just now, I respected your football mind.
I was hopeful it could be good, but I also knew that coaches that came from the Belichick coaching tree tend to fail.
There is no such thing as the Patriot way outside of Bill Belichick. There is no coaching tree. It's 3 broken twigs. You want to know why Bill Belichick is so good? You want to know why Tom Brady is so good?
Here's the facts.
Blood oath.
Hold on a minute here. I said
the
I
facts
thought it
right
made
here.
sense because you had 2 guys from the same organization who had a game plan that they actually could go off of.
Yeah, their game plan was to destroy the team.
And at the time, who else was an option out there? Vrabel? Remember, they interviewed at Vrabel.
No, W.G. Brady, back in the 2018 season to start, wrote an article about how he thought it was a travesty that the Lions did not call Dan Campbell for an interview.
Yep.
What year was that?
2018, when we hired Patricia.
I want to see who else we interviewed that year.
Oh well.
They interviewed Mike Vrabel too, and still picked Matt Patricia.
Yeah, and Brable by far was the better coach.
Richard, if you haven't heard this before now, I'm going to tell you now. We would have been better off hiring Matt Patricia the first time instead of Jim Caldwell.
Jim Bob Cooter, Ben Johnson is okay, but too many trick plays. You know what? Most of them have worked.
I gotta dispute that. I think Caldwell was night and day better than Patricia.
No, he was a safer hire. But here, let me tell you the rest. Mainly and only because the Matt Patricia era would be further in the rear view.
Facts, Lion King.
That part, yeah, but at the same time, look at their records. I mean, Caldwell got them to the playoffs 2 times.
Lion King.
They didn't do a whole lot. They should have beat Dallas, but we
moonwalked in.
Lion King
last year, yeah, they moonwalked in.
Lion King says Lions versus Jets that Monday night showed Patricia was horrible. Yes, and I will always refer to him as Patricia.
I can only speak upon the first half because the second half I was blackout drunk.
Oh, Harbaugh, Vrabel, Campbell, and Spielman's brother.
Spielman's brother was for GM.
Thank you, Harbaugh.
But Matt Patricia was a rocket scientist, or he is a rocket scientist.
No, he isn't. Problem is he's what? He's not even 50 yet. Is he 40 yet?
Who?
Patricia.
He's in his 40s.
Yeah,
he's late 30s, early 40s.
Yeah, he's a young damn coach. It's not like he's ready to retire. He has a lot.
He'll never get another head coaching job in the NFL. Much like every other coach you've seen other than Dick Duran. You know who he should have? Gary Moeller.
I think Jim Schwartz will get another opportunity.
He might. He was the other one I said he was young enough.
No, I mean, what? There's a reason why he's calling plays in New England. He's
at Patricia. It is 100% true.
Yeah, the reason is they don't wait. Joe Judge is a defensive guy?
No, he's the offensive assistant.
So why is Patricia? I don't get it.
Jets game, I was experimenting. Yeah.
With what? LSD?
Exactly. Nope. I think he was experimenting with same-sex sexual intercourse.
Okay, here's the list. You ready? Patricia.
I like how you made that pre-seed.
Terrell Austin. They interviewed Cooter. Pat Shurmur, Mike Vrabel, Steve Wilkes.
That doesn't make sense. What is that? Minnesota Coving Hurts? What?
Covering.
See, I think Pat Shurmur would have been better than Patricia.
Anyone would have been better.
Lion King, waiting for Walter Football Tuesday, Week 3 analysis. I'm thinking upset alert, like last year versus Cardinals. I won't be surprised.
Oh, because
it's not an upset because we're on the road.
We called this as a win, Jeremy.
Yeah, no, we said it might be a win because I said they play the Eagles and the Eagles may house them.
Wait, who do we play Week 4?
Seahawks. The Sea
Patricia makes Acme Rockets for Wile E. Coyote.
Okay, well, here it is. I'll get it right in Week 3 and 4. We beat the Vikings, and then we go lose to Seattle.
We aren't going to Seattle, though. They're coming here.
I say they win.
No, we are going to lose. Not going to lose. Going to lose.
Kenneth Walker has yet to be fully healthy.
Yep.
Geno Smith the third.
Geno Smith is looking like Carson Wentz. He can't be consistent and has PTSD after that San Francisco 49ers defense banged the fuck out of him.
I will
they
say
banged him harder than a $2 whore on Navy payday.
The only thing we got worried about is getting out of that.
Did I send you that meme, Jeremy? The Geno Smith one?
No.
Russell Wilson, Wilson Phillips, Wilson from Home Improvement, don't matter. Seahawks by 1.
I will say
I picked the Broncos, but I just had a feeling that the 12th man was going to make life a living hell for Russell Wilson, and it happened.
Denver's finishing in last.
Eric Sean, Geno Smith the third. Hey, Dan Leonard, tell us about you think about Geno Smith.
Geno Smith replaced Eli as the starter.
I know. That's why I said, come on in and tell us about him.
I like Geno Smith.
I don't.
He was good in college.
I like him when he's on other teams.
No, I like Geno Smith. I mean, New York, he really didn't get a fair shake. I mean, look at the situation he was in.
Yep,
I mean, I'm not
that
saying
was
he's
a
anything
mess.
special, but at the same time, I like Geno Smith. I think he's all
He
right.
hadn't
I'll
been
take
in a
him as
good
our backup.
situation Anyway.
Oh, yeah. I'd take him any day as our backup. Over what we got now? No question.
Honestly, it might not much matter. I mean, obviously, you can't have your starter go down, but are you going to spend a bunch of money on what you hope is the best backup? It's not really our passing game that's winning us games.
Pack turds are bragging about their barely win at home versus Chicago.
Dude,
Probably.
they're bragging about beating the Chicago team. You were at home.
I said that might go. I said they could had a possibility of going winless because I didn't know what type of quarterback Trey Lance was.
I mean, either way, it's like you beat a division rival at home, a division rival who's expected to be like a 3-win team. I hope to God you beat them.
Hear me out. As much as I don't disagree with it, and there's always times throughout the year that I think Vegas is crazy. Vegas is usually pretty close, and they had us and Chicago at 6.5, which to me ultimately means we get 7, maybe 8, and I think Chicago maybe gets 5 or 6.
Yeah. Maybe.
Judging by what happens next week, I may have to put another bet in and rehash it so I can win. Because I'm thinking my $50 is lost already because I think the Packers may end up hitting the under 11. I think their ceiling is 10.
And even though I'm not rooting for Justin Fields anymore because I'm not worried about us drafting an Ohio State quarterback at this point, he's in such a bad situation, and I don't think he's a bad kid. I'm kind of rooting for him.
Oh, look, Eric Ebum has came into the building. TJ Hawkinson is horrible.
Ebron, when you learn to catch a ball, then you can talk.
That can't run routes. Guy.
Are these YouTube comments?
Yeah.
Oh, I was going to say, I know he's not on Facebook because I made him leave.
I know. You told me about that. Jalen Hurts is a baller. Definition showing it today. Almost got him. Eagles beat Vikings. Vikings beat Pack. Pack beat Bears. Make a case that we're the best team in the division at the 1-1 at the moment. I've said it could be, but I'm not going to put all my eggs in one basket.
If you're telling me to make a case for why we're the best
team
in the division,
it's because we're the most explosive offense right now in the division.
Anyone in this team, I don't think I can not even. I know no one in this division is very good right now,
and it is up for grabs, 100%.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
now, Eric Shaw in Chicago, you need SEAL Team 6 to survive a blowout tire.
You know what I can see, Jeremy? Since you were saying Packers maybe down to 10 wins, I could see the bottom of the division being Chicago or us. It goes 6, 7, 8, 9. No one gets 10 wins. Maybe the division winner gets 10 wins.
Let's see. The team that has the best quarterbacks coming out have all been FCS schools, I think.
Put that comment back up.
I totally hate the OSU QB suck comment. Name one school that has produced QBs consistently.
Anyone not named Ohio State, USC.
No, not USC. They've all been trash since Carson Palmer.
But they have been better than what Ohio State has produced.
Facts. That's facts. It's factual.
It's not the answer to that argument. You can't be like, oh, they suck. Tell me one that does. Like, no, you just suck. We're not talking about who's good. You know, Oregon in 50 years, 70 years has had 3 good ones, 2.5. Norm Van Brocklin, Dan Fouts, and now maybe Justin Herbert.
That's true about U of M. Michigan QBs until Brady never had a great QB and a 6th-round pick. That's
There's-
true.
There's not.
Yep.
They've been
You
all
can't even say like
decent.
historically because even the coaches that are there forever, eventually they leave.
Purdue produced one. Drew Brees.
Michigan's
David
produced a
Blau
few.
was the
Michigan
last,
State,
the
even.
second to last.
Stanford.
Yeah,
Stanford has put out some good quarterbacks.
Including Andrew Luck.
Tennessee.
Used to put out good quarterbacks. Honestly, they put out better running backs.
Yeah.
Yep.
Tennessee has put out some great running backs over the years.
Jamal Lewis, Alvin
Georgia.
Kamara. Who am I forgetting? Arian Foster.
Yep. Malik Willis looks horrible tonight, as I told you he would.
Whoa,
But we
whoa,
should have
whoa.
drafted
Malik
him.
Willis looks horrible. He must be injured. You guys got to be kidding me here, right?
Yeah.
That's what it is. He's just dealing with an injury.
Yeah, he would have had 8 touchdowns in 2 games if we would have drafted
Eric
him.
Shaw, Purdue and Alabama has had the most ever drafted in starters. Facebook user says, "Go Eagles!" That's right. Make us tied for 1-1 across the division.
Oh, I thought he meant Eastern Eagle. Did you guys hear that Herm Edwards got fired in the end zone?
Yeah.
What?
Losing to my alma mater. Actually, that's the other guy. If Campbell fails and Herm Edwards wants that job, I'd interview him. Fuck yeah, I would take Herm Edwards.
He's going to be 70.
That
Or
being
near
said,
I mean, he's
we
gonna
can
be
stay
around
on in
3
back
years.
chat for a little bit, guys, but it is time to close out the show. I want to give a shout out to my sponsors, A1 Tire.
I almost picked another one off. Sorry.
A1 Tire and Auto Repair. 3 locations to serve you. The one in Coquitlam on Old Coquitlam, the one in Saginaw on Genesee Street, and the one in Bay City at Broadway. Great used tires at a great price, and great prices on new tires too, as Detroit Dom can attest to.
All 7 of them.
And the other one is Mad Lab Custom Creations. Go see them on Facebook. They have all your needs for signed memorabilia. They do brakes, and they also do custom paint jobs and excellent looking stuff. Eric Sean, Navy has more starting QBs in the NFL than USC and historically. It's true.
So, okay, Bleacher
Might have to go
Report.
back to the 20s for that.
Okay, here's a whole 25 teams. Ready? Oh, wow. Oh, love this. 25.
Oh, Nevin Lawson. What about me? Yep, goodbye.
25 is Houston. David Klingler, Andre Ware, Case Keenum. 24, TCU. Sammy Baugh. I didn't know he went there. Davey O'Brien, Kent Nix, and Andy Dalton.
The Red
The
Rocket
Horned
went
Frog.
there? No shit.
Yep, the Red Rocket went to TCU.
You didn't know that? The beige water pistol?
Yeah.
The Red Rocket.
23, Auburn. Pat Sullivan, Cameron Newton, Jason Campbell. I always liked Jason Campbell.
OSU had Young, and that was all pro, then hit the pipe. Young? What Young?
You thinking of Vince Young? He wouldn't have
Vince
hurt.
Young
Vince
was
Young was
Texas.
Texas.
They literally, words out of my mouth. 22, Texas. Bobby Lane, Colt McCoy, Vince Young. 21, Spart. Whoa, no way.
Michigan State, dude. I'm telling you.
Tony Banks, Earl Morrill. I know everything about Earl Morrill except that he went to state.
Yeah.
Al Jarreau, Jim Miller, Jim Ninowski. Jim Miller has the all-time NFL record for least yards per carry as a quarterback.
Yep. Lion King Kyler Murray got slapped in the mouth Sunday by a fan. That's funny.
20 is
And
Penn
Eric Son
State.
says, oops, my bad.
20 is
Vince Young.
Penn State. Todd Blackledge, Drunk Kerry Collins, and Milt Plum.
Oof.
Oh, here we go. 19, a whole list of shitty ones. June Jones, Chris Miller, George Shaw, Norm Van Brocklin, Kellen Clemens, AJ Freely, they mean Feely, Dan Fouts. They didn't even list Joey or Marcus Mariota. How old is this list?
It's got to be pretty old.
It's Bleacher Report. Can't be that old. 18, Oklahoma. Troy Aikman didn't go there. He did, but he didn't play.
He transferred
He
out.
transferred.
You can't count that as somewhere like that doesn't count if he
Troy
transferred
Aikman.
out.
Here's the Sam Bradford, who stayed in college for an extra year to avoid being drafted by us. Jason White, who won a Heisman and never had an NFL snap. Josh Heupel, Landry Jones, Nebraska. Crouch, Tommy Frazier.
Blackledge is now a new NCAA announcer. Yep.
Oh, I didn't know the bald bastard went to Boston College.
Who?
That's actually a pretty good list.
No,
Boston College has quite a few. Yeah, I was about to say.
17 is Nebraska. It's Eric Crouch, who also
Didn't
never
play.
played it down in the NFL as a quarterback.
Mhm.
He switched to safety. Tommy Frazier, who retired because of a heart problem. Turner Gill, Vince Ferragamo. I did not know he went to Nebraska.
Neither did I.
And David Hum. 16 is Boston College. That's Flutie, Bald Bastard, and Matt Ryan.
Who's bald bastard?
Matt Hasselbeck.
Oh,
Bald
yeah.
Bastard. We're going to get the ball and win. Ooh, 15. Also no. Maryland can stay.
Okay.
Yeah,
In the
Boomer
Big Ten.
Esiason.
Maryland can stay in the Big Ten. They're in the Big Ten now, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
I think
Boomer Esiason and shit. Who else?
Neil O'Donnell, Frank Reich, Scott
Oh, Frank
Zolak.
Reich.
That's actually not a bad list.
No.
Wow, another one where it's like I didn't know that guy went there. Wazoo.
Okay.
Yeah. Where's Ohio State?
Not in the top 25, probably.
They're probably not even the top 50.
Well, this is just guys who got drafted, not Hall of
Oh.
Fame or Pro Bowlers.
Wazoo
there
is
was-
Ohio State
Bledsoe,
usually
Don
gets
Horn,
drafted.
Ryan Leaf, Mark Rippon. Didn't know Mark Rippon went there.
That's cool.
13 is UCLA, Aikman, Steve
Hassle
Bono,
your sack in my face.
Billy Kilmer, Tommy Maddox. Wait, Tommy Maddox, the
The backup
Played for
Steelers.
played for Pittsburgh. Yeah, he won the
was their backup.
XFL MVP.
Yep.
Jay Schrader, Rick Neuheisel. 12 is Washington. That is a good list, kind of.
Okay.
Burnell, Chris Chandler, Don Heinrich, Warren Moon, Billy Joe Hobart, Jake Locker.
Yeah,
Remember
that is
people
a good
thought
list.
Jake Locker was going to be good.
Yeah.
Yep.
BYU is 11. John Beck, Ty Detmer, Jim McMahon, Giff Nielsen, Steve Young.
That is a good list.
10 is Florida State, Brad Johnson, Danny Cannell, Chris Winkie, Christian Ponder, Charlie Ward.
Michigan's
Best quarterback on that list
10.
is Charlie Ward, and he played basketball. There's Stanford. It's 9. John Brody, Steve Dills, John Elway, Babe Laufenberg, Jim Plunkett, Andrew Luck.
Mm-mm-mm.
Michigan's 8.
Really?
Mhm.
I mean, if you think about like sustained careers, kind of,
Yeah.
Tom Brady is the best quarterback of all time that signed a blood oath.
Who?
Tom Brady? Blood oath? You're not familiar with this?
No. Who was the player that could play multiple positions back in the 60s and early 70s? He's famous. I can't think of his name.
Could you be any less specific?
Yeah.
The guy that
Yeah,
played
there's
for the Raiders, the one that played punter, then he played this and played that, and he was a QB.
Ray Guy?
Yeah.
Yep.
Michigan's 8. It's Brady, Collins, Elvis Gerback. Gerback started for like a handful of years for the Chiefs.
And was
Yep,
decent.
and the
And
49ers, I
they
think,
had
too.
winning records. Brian Greasy,
Yeah.
who
Yep.
the Lions broke
Yep.
their 24, 25 consecutive road losing streak. Harbaugh, and then check down Chad. Speaking of
Great guy.
Kansas City Chiefs.
It was Ray Guy, Brian Roy. I'm pretty sure. I'm 90% sure that's the guy.
They must be talking about college because 7 is Florida.
Brady sold his soul to the devil,
There's
went down
no
to Georgia.
way Florida's 7.
Oh, wait, it gets worse.
No, it's how many they're drafted out of it, not
Oh.
good careers.
Rex Grossman, Super Bowl participant. Jesse Palmer, Spur here as a quarterback. Tim Tebow, playoff game winner, and
Yeah.
Danny Werfel. But 6 is Miami. Ooh, they actually
Got some decent ones in there.
I
Yeah,
forgot-
Miami had some good years.
I forgot about Jim Kelly and Bernie Kosar.
I
And
miss
Testicle
those Florida
Verde.
State Miami days.
Testicle Verde. We used to call him Vinny Testanutze. You remember that, Jared, when Jeff told you that? That's what
Oh,
I
yeah.
called him.
Hilarious.
I still don't know for sure, but the rumor in the 80s was that he was colorblind and he was bitching about the creamsicles not being much, brighter or black and white, like to white.
Mm-hmm.
You're done with the stream now, right?
No, I haven't ended it yet. That being
Oh,
said,
man.
This whole time we've been live.
Ray Guy, QB, punter, and place kicker. That's Ray Guy, ain't it?
Mm-hmm.
No. Sammy Baugh.
Lou Groza.
Lou Graza.
No,
That-
George Blanda.
for the Lions.
I think he's thinking about George Blanda because George Blanda was a quarterback for some of those years as well.
Yep. That being said, guys, it's time for me to say what I always say. It's been a wonderful evening, but remember, try every day to be a better guy than you were the day before, because that's the only way to make the world a better place. And this has been Kneecap Biting with Smokin' Jeremy B, with DC 8091, Detroit Dom, and Richard Head. Have a great evening. And